Hello, hello. Thank you for coming back to my channel today, or thanks for coming for the first time if you're new. A couple weeks ago, I made a video reading some random facts, and I found them to be really interesting, and I didn't get through the whole list, so I would like to do some more today, and I hope you're interested in them. I haven't heard any that were this interesting in quite a while, so without further ado, let's get right into them. So, the first fact is that the Eiffel Tower can grow more than 6 inches during the summer. The high temperatures make its iron expand, so that would be why. Glitter was made on a ranch. A cattle rancher in New Jersey is credited for inventing glitter, and it was by accident. Henry Rushman from Bernardsville, New Jersey, was a machinist who crushed plastic while trying to find a way to dispose of it, and thus made glitter in 1934. So it's been around for a little while. Creature is a vegetarian. Victor Frankenstein's Creature is actually a vegetarian. Frankenstein and Creature are fictional characters created by Mary Shelley in her novel Frankenstein. In the novel, Creature says, "My food is not that of man. I do not destroy the lamb and the kid to glut my appetite. Acorns and berries afford me sufficient nourishment." Medical errors are a top cause of death. According to a Johns Hopkins research team, 250,000 deaths in the United States are caused by medical error each year. This makes medical error the third leading cause of deaths in the country. That is crazy and very unfortunate. But I bet there are a lot of cases, many more cases, that save lives. So there's a little bit of a glass half full for you. Sloths have more neck bones than giraffes, even with giraffes' long necks. Despite physical length, there are more bones in the neck of a sloth than a giraffe. There are 7 vertebrae in the neck of giraffes, and in most mammals, but there are 10 in a sloth. Still, giraffes are among 23 of the world's biggest living animals. Bees can fly higher than Mount Everest. Bees can fly higher than 29,525 feet above sea level, according to National Geographic. That's higher than Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. Ancient Egyptians used dead mice to ease toothaches. In ancient Egypt, people put a dead mouse in their mouth if they had a toothache, according to Nathan Belovsky's book, Strange Medicine, A Shocking History of Real Medical Practices Through the Age. Mice were also used as a warts remedy during Elizabethan England. I'm just here in a little bit of disbelief because I don't understand, like, did it actually work? Did the mice actually cure the toothaches? I don't understand. Paint used to be stored in pig bladders. Okay. Pig bladders were used in the 19th century to store an artist's paint. The bladder would be sealed with a string and then pricked to get the paint out. Oh, instead of like a plastic tube or something. This option wasn't the best because it would often break open. American painter John G. Rand was the innovator who made paint tubes from tin and screw cap in the 19th century. Humans have jumped further than horses in the Olympics. The Olympic world record for the longest human long jump is greater than the world record for longest horse long jump. Mike Powell set the record in 1991 by jumping 8.95 meters, which is a very long way when you think about it. And the horse Extra Dry set the record in 1900 by jumping 6.1 meters. So it's a win by a long shot there. Interesting. The Terminator script was sold for $1. James Cameron is the award-winning director of movies like Titanic, Avatar, and The Terminator. In order to get his big break with The Terminator, he sold the script for $1 and a promise that he'd be able to direct. Pigeon poop is the property of the British Crown. Something you probably didn't think you'd hear today. In the 18th century, pigeon poop was used to make gunpowder, so King George I confirmed the droppings to be the property of the Crown. And then they never gave it back. Onions were found in the eyes of an Egyptian mummy. Pharaoh Ramses IV of ancient Egypt had his eyes replaced with small onions when he was mummified. The rings and layers of onions were worshipped because people thought they represented eternal life. This aligns with the reason for mummification, to allow the pharaoh's body to live forever. And let's hope these interesting facts don't all apply to practices used today. Abraham Lincoln was a bartender. You know that the 16th President of the United States fought for the freedom of slaves and the Union, but what you didn't know is that he was a licensed bartender. Lincoln's liquor license was discovered in 1930 and displayed in a Springfield liquor store. Wayne C. Temple, a Lincoln expert, told the Southeast Missourian newspaper that in 1863, Congress wanted to fire Ulysses S. Grant because he drank a lot, and Lincoln's response was to send Grant a supply of whiskey. Beethoven never knew how to multiply or divide. Ludwig van Beethoven is arguably one of the greatest composers in musical history. The renowned pianist went to a Latin school called Tirocinium. There he learned some math, but never multiplication or division, only addition. Once, when he needed to multiply 62 by 50, he wrote 62 down a line 50 times and added it all up. Interesting. Japan released sushi-inspired Kit Kats. For a limited time in 2017, Tokyo's Kit Kat chocolaterie shop made 3 types of the chocolate bar that was sushi-inspired, but didn't actually taste like raw fish. Thank goodness for that. The tuna sushi was actually raspberry, the seaweed-wrapped one was pumpkin pudding flavored, and the sea urchin sushi was actually Hokkaido melon with mascarpone cheese flavored. All were made with puffed rice, white chocolate, and a bit of wasabi. Sounds interesting. The word aquarium means watering place for cattle in Latin. In the classic Latin language, aquarium means a watering place for cattle. However, aquariums these days aren't for cows. Instead, they're a place for the public to see sea creatures. The first aquarium that looks like what you'd imagine now was created in 1921 and opened in 1924 in England. If you love what's in the deep blue sea, take an intimate look at these large and tiny sea creatures. Fact: an espresso maker was sent into space in 2015. Samantha Cristoforetti is the first female Italian astronaut to get a warm and cozy piece of home sent to her while in orbit. The Italian Space Agency worked with Italian coffee manufacturer Lavazza to get the coffee capsules flown up and out into space. An employee at Pixar accidentally deleted a sequence of Toy Story 2 during production. Ed Catmull, the co-founder of Pixar, wrote in his book Creativity Inc. that the year before the movie came out, someone entered the command /bin/rm-r-f** long command on the drive where the files were saved and scenes started to be deleted. It would have taken a year to recreate what was deleted, but luckily another employee had a backup of the entire film on her laptop at home. Thank goodness. Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ron Wayne started Apple Inc. on April Fool's Day. The 3 technology innovators signed the documents to form the Apple Computer Company on April 1st, 1976. However, the company was not fully incorporated until January 3rd, 1977. 30 years later, the company was renamed Apple Inc. and is no joke. In 2018, Apple became the country's first trillion-dollar company. The inventor of the tricycle personally delivered 2 to Queen Victoria. In 1881, Queen Victoria was on a tour of the Isle of Wight when her horse and carriage could not keep up with a woman riding a tricycle. The Queen made her servants identify the woman so she could demonstrate the tricycle to the Queen. Intrigued by the bike, the Queen proceeded to order 2. She also asked that the inventor, James Starley, arrive with the delivery. Though you might associate tricycles with toddlers, Queen Victoria made them cool among the elite. Special deliveries are definitely a royal bonus. Alright, what do we have next? Your brain synapses shrink while you sleep. A 2003 study from the University of Wisconsin-Madison Center for Sleep and Consciousness was done on mice to observe what happens to our brains while we sleep. Dr. Chiara Cirelli and Dr. Giulio Tononi found an 18% decrease in the size of synapses after a few hours of sleep. Don't worry though, your brain shrinking at night actually helps your cognitive abilities. A waffle iron inspired one of the first pairs of Nikes. Bill Bowerman was a track and field coach in the 1950s who didn't like how running shoes were made. He first created the Cortez shoe, but still wanted to make a shoe even lighter that could be worn on various surfaces. During a waffle breakfast with his wife in 1970, the idea came to him of using the waffle texture on the sole of running shoes. The waffle sole shoe made their appearance in the 1972 U.S. Olympic track and field trials in Eugene. Okay, and I think I will do one more, and then there are enough left that I'll probably do a part 3 because I find these really interesting. So check that out, and here's the last one. Boars wash their food. National Geographic reported that at Basel Zoo in Switzerland, zookeepers watched adult and juvenile wild boars pick up sandy apples and bring them to a nearby creek in their environment to wash before eating. Though some items like sugar beets were eaten without the human-like behavior, the boars brought a whole dead chicken to the creek to wash before chowing down. One ecologist called this a luxury behavior. Very interesting. So I hope that you have enjoyed these interesting facts. And there are quite a few more here, so I'm going to make one more video on these. If you like this series, then let me know, because I don't think you can know too many random facts. They sometimes come in handy. It's interesting, and you learn something, and it's relaxing, so who doesn't like that? Okay, I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you really, really soon.